Hello everyone, I'm Gecko and welcome back to the world of Minecraft. This is the third video I'm currently doing as a series where I will be reviewing the top 5 builds every week uploaded to Planet Minecraft that you personally can download yourself. So at the current point in time I'm in a runner-up build. Typically I do 5 best builds. This week it's sort of 5/6 because the 5th and the 6th build was so good I couldn't quite decide between them. But I did decide in the end that one was slightly better. But I thought I'd include this one anyway. You may notice, and I've found this really weird, and I don't know what it is, but the sun behind me is stuck at a fixed position. Now, I'm not quite sure why that is, and I'm not sure if that's a bug with me or whether or not that's something that they've set up in the map, but it is well and truly stuck like that. I reckon it's probably just stuck. You'll also may have noticed if you watched my videos from last week, which was the one before this, so it's the second in the series, that the video was about half the time of my original video. The first video I uploaded was about 50 minutes and then the second one about 20. I'm just trying to cut them down because I do realise they're a long time and you might not want to sit through the entire thing to see all the builds. So let's take off then, I think we should do. So here it is, this is the runner-up build. This one's called World's Beacon by xSILLYxTACOx. It's a pretty good build. It's got a few missions. You start from there and you can choose either a creative or a adventure mode to explore the world in. Now there's a cave with apparently a troll. Now I've not found this cave yet, but I've not been on the map for too long. It's pretty good as far as this kind of map goes. I like the custom snowflakes down there, but this is the real centerpiece. This is like the castle, or the World's Beacon as I believe it's called. We've got this great bridge here, bridging the 2 towers, and you can go inside here and take a look around. Down at the bottom here there's a book in a chest which says... Sorry. This map's based on a kind of a synopsis, so it's kind of got a story to it with a few little side missions you can carry out, and it's basically along the fact that all the fish have been eaten. So this was once like a fishing town and they ate all the fish and now there's no fish left. So it's like a kind of like a memorial to fish, if you kind of get where I'm coming from. Also I love these here. These are like crystals made out of water with invisible blocks around them to keep them in shape. So that looks pretty good. You also notice if you did watch my first and second video, if you've not seen them yet, check them out because the builds on there are brilliant. That I didn't do. I did it for the first video, but for the second video I didn't do runner-up builds, and I don't know whether you guys think that's a good idea to me to keep doing, because I think on the first build I did 10 runner-up builds which I thought were great, but on the second video I decided not to do them. You also notice that on my first video I had Staring Mouse with me, but on this video unfortunately not, and the previous one. That's because they've gone down with the dreaded winter flu. So they are currently patient 0, as well as a couple of my other friends. Thankfully it's not hit me yet, so I'm staying well away from them. If you've ever wanted to know what it looks like when a villager turns into a villager zombie, or a zombie villager, that's basically what I've been seeing in my friends the past couple of weeks, because they have literally just gone downhill. So hopefully get better soon and they can rejoin me back in my world of Minecraft. I think we should just jump in really. This week we're doing the 18th to the 24th of December, so that's all builds uploaded between them. Every build that I show on here has a world save, so I'll leave the links in the description and you can check out every single one and download them, have a play around them, see what you think of them, tell me if you think I'm right in where I think they rank. So if you think one's better than another, so let's say you think build 3 was actually better than build 2, then please tell me because I love to know your opinion on it. And I believe we should just jump straight into this video with our 5th best build from the week from Planet Minecraft. So here we are in our 5th best build. Now this is an absolutely fantastic build. It's called the Crystal Palace by XantBt. I think I said that right. Now this is one of the reasons I found this hard to choose between 5th and 6th place, because I think this is probably just about better than 6th place. Tell me if you think otherwise, but I think it's a pretty good build overall. Just because, not just because you've got the castle, but you've also got the custom landscape, you've got a brilliant Christmas tree down there, and also all these little animals that are just sort of dotted around the grounds. and you've got this path on the ground. You can see that path there. It's really weird because they don't actually go necessarily anywhere. They're just sort of there for the aesthetics, really. The tree I love. It's got that tinsel going around it. We've got Santa's head there as a ball. I thought that was Santa's head originally, but on a body. But no, that's Santa's head has been decapitated. That's a present there. So, and a waterfall for some reason. I don't know if that's meant to be like that. We're going to go and say yes. There's another one over there. Might be a fountain or something. I'm not too sure. But this build is absolutely fantastic. Now, it is hollow on the inside. There's nothing inside it. They put a few floors in, but apart from that, there's no actual indoor furniture, working doors, any of that kind of thing. This is more just a kind of, oh, look what we can make. This is, because it is sort of a stand outside here kind of lobby look. You know, you could easily have this as a lobby because it's not got the border's there, so people can't necessarily get out otherwise, but they're going to die. But I like this. They've used a lot of quartz, and like I said in my last video, I think you can overdo quartz. They've not overdone it here. What they've done is they've sort of contrasted it with, oh gosh, is that dorite? I'm not sure it's dorite. Dorite, it is dorite. There you go, polished dorite, to try and give it a sort of broken up look. So instead of just going completely loopy on the quartz, they've used a bit of dorite in between, a few other blocks to try and set it off, a bit of cobblestone, and I think it looks pretty good overall. It's not the kind of build that you could do too much with. I mean, it's majority completed now, so all you could really do now is probably stick it in a server or have it as an exterior feature, because even if you decided to make some interior features, on the inside it's pretty big. And I mean these are door handles, those are huge. So just knock through onto the inside. Ooh. Yeah, it is basically like, there you go. You'd expect that to lead through to something, but that is pretty much solid. So yeah, as you can see on the inside, it is just a sort of building, a shell built on top of the landscape, so the landscape's not cut out, so you would have to do that first. But as a build, it works. Oh, you missed a window there. It works incredibly well. I think it looks pretty good at night. We'll just compare it, shall we? Have to see if it looks better during the day or night. Those figures, actually, now that I've thought about it, remind me of Narnia, because, you know, in the Witch's Castle, they have all those frozen ones, you know, the ones that have been turned to stone. That's what they kind of remind me of, because they're all just sort of there. And they're huge. That is a big reindeer. Big reindeer. That's like Hulk reindeer. Reindeer mad. Let's have a look then. So let's just set time to 12. And I love it when that doesn't happen. No idea why that doesn't happen, but fair enough. We'll leave it like that because the stars are still turning. It's just completely ignore me, or I haven't got cheats turned on, one or the other. But yeah, that's a great build. So that is number 5. Let's move on to build number 4 then and take a look around that, because number 4 is a great build. So here we are in build number 4. This one's called Lil Boat, and it's by Necrosys. Now what I love about this is it's actually a boat. You might not believe it, but it's actually based on a song about a boat that doesn't actually look like a boat. Now I think we can all agree that this boat doesn't quite look like your average boat or any boat we've ever seen before. There's missions which you can carry out in adventure mode, where you've got to find, I think, a few rooms, and then there's a few little puzzles. Now, when you load into this map, you're going to notice that you're going to be flying around ridiculously quickly. Now, I don't know what they've done. There could be several things they've done, but we don't think we've got any potions running, because there's none there that is showing. So we'll have a quick look around, because I spent a bit of too long on the last one. Essentially, it's incredible because we've got trees here, we've got houses that look like they've been built. It's basically like imagine like, oh, how can I say this? A cargo ship, and they've built houses and an island on the ship itself. We've got nets here for fishing, we've got gardens. I think, yeah, even at the back here, there's like a car park, so you can. I'm not sure why you'd want to drive around a ship. It's not that big. They're like little golf carts, I guess, and cars and stuff. But this is an honestly out of this world build, and I never expected. When I first saw this, the renders were absolutely fantastic on Planet Minecraft, and I thought, am I really looking at something? Is this going to be one of those builds that I download it and then the picture they put on there isn't actually the real picture? Because I didn't know. But when you look at it, it's just, there's so much detail to it that it's just, ooh, can I get out of flying? That's also the problem, because everything's like sped up. Trying to get out of, there we go, hopefully I won't die. Oh wow, so even when you are walking on the ground, you are going at proper speed, but you've got interiors to the entire thing. Now, check this out yourself. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like a gambling area, so a casino or something. Wow, okay, I would love to honestly go through this with you guys, but I don't think I've got time given the scale of this project. This is an absolutely fantastic project. Check it out at the Planet Minecraft page and the link in the description. And you've got this weird sort of, I don't know what it's called, but if you ever see those pictures of Dubai where they create those artificial islands, that's kind of what it looks like, because there's loads of little bits of sand that are just stretched out in strange and organic patterns. And is that a train line going along the top of the ship? I don't know. It's not a train line. It is, there's like a restaurant and some more trees, and it feels sort of steampunk in a way, but at the same time it doesn't. We've got a huge funnel here, and some tugboats around the outside. It's built actually in the ground, so what they've done is they've dug out the ground, probably using MC Edit or some other world edit tool, and just built it into the ground like people used to do when, I think the first ever major build everyone remembers was the Starship Enterprise from Star Trek. That was the one where he dug out the ground and then built it in creative mode, which was pretty much when the first creative mode came out. I'm actually falling right now. This is really far. But there you go. Got some cranes on the side, some, like I said, nets, gardens, some houses. But yeah, check this one out because this is absolutely fantastic. There's a great song. There's a huge bit of information on the Planet Minecraft page. They've got the lyrics for the song there. I'm not sure who the song was written by. Check it out. But this is an amazing build, and just one of those that I don't think I'm ever going to see something quite like this again. I see a lot of people building boats, but to build this kind of boat, and actually you'll see a boat coming up shortly, but this kind of boat, I don't think I'm going to see this kind of thing ever again. So yeah, let's move on to number 3 now. So here we go. This is the third best build. Now this one's called Dumpster Diving by Crafterboy327. Now this map, when you first download it, if you have a go on it, it may take a while to load because it is pretty big and very detailed. There's also quite a bit of water. I think the first time I ran this, it crashed my Minecraft because I think I was playing about 2 or 3 accounts at once, so it couldn't quite take it because I was trying to play on 2 or 3 actual different accounts in the same map. So this is absolutely stunning as a build. It is basically some huge landfill site with a kind of a metropolis, but a dark metropolis, and I can't remember what the name is for that. But if you have a look around, I've not actually had a chance to look inside it because I have been so in awe of the actual exterior of the build. If you have a look on the ground, it looks like there's a kind of mist. But if we actually go down to the ground, they actually achieve that mist by using grey glass. So there you go, they use grey glass and then they input several blocks every now and again. And that basically means that from a height, or even from up close to be honest, it looks like some blocks are slightly further away than others. And of course they are, but it also makes it look like there's a mist over it. It kind of gives you an idea of what the future could be like if we keep on doing to the planet what we're currently doing right now, just dumping stuff instead of recycling it. It kind of is that future that you don't really want to think about, but you know could happen in a way. It's creepy. You've got this huge bridge here, you've got some hover cars or whatever you want to call them, but it is absolutely mesmerizing. It's just so much to take in. I don't know what you could do with this build. Love to hear your thoughts on what kind of things you would do to this build, or what kind of things you would have done. But I think it is just amazing. I would have liked to have seen maybe some smoke plumes coming out of the towers here, which I assume what they are, like cooling towers or just anything really. Some smoke made out of cobwebs coming out of those. I think that would be a great idea. This is just a build that you should just check out just to see whether or not your computer can, number one, handle it, and number two, just so you can see what it's like. But yeah, that's a fantastic build. So that's called dumpster diving. Let's move on to build number 2 now. So here we are in build number 2. Now this build is called Harmony of the Seas. That the little board there, I believe they've missed off, either they missed off a word or there was meant to be another board here. Now this is the 1:1 scale. So the Harmony of the Seas, just in case you didn't know, is the biggest cruise liner I believe in the world at the moment. This one's built by Harry Tung 202. Took a while to complete apparently, which I can, to be honest, understand, because he's not just done the exterior here. He's also had a go at the interior as well. So I'll just fly you around the ship so you can take it all in. A huge amount of glass, but this, I mean, if you just stand back for a second, looks absolutely amazing. I don't see too many ships these days that can outdo some of the top builds, because people on Minecraft, we like to build that sort of fantasy stuff. So ships, given the fact that we know what they look like, don't usually make it into my top 5 builds. This week we've got 2, last week we had 1, so it's looking very good. But to be honest, topping this now with another ship build is going to be pretty impossible. So we'll just take you around the top deck, because I don't want to fly you too far inside. But here we go. We've got some bedrooms there, balconies, we've got a variety of stuff. Now, I don't know if there's a texture pack you guys can download for this. I can't honestly remember, but have a look at the Planet Minecraft page and see. This would just be a great map for anything. If you wanted to use it, you could use this for your friends. You could play hide and seek. You could play a zombie survival. I believe there's a game on Steam where you're on a cruise ship and everyone's fighting for their life. Now, I can't remember what that game's called now. I believe they brought it at number 2, but you could easily turn it into this kind of map. A kind of, ooh, let's survive, you know, kind of missions. You've got some balconies along here with all individual rooms. You've got your, oh, there you go, yep. And down here, it's very weird indeed. Like I said, I'm not going to take you through the entire ship, because this has got to be something you guys check out for yourselves. And there seems to be an almost infinite number of doorways. Okay, so these are the lifeboats here, which you can't go inside. But let's see if there's actually... There is an interior, okay, just whoop. You just can't go inside them from the outside. You have to make a doorway of some sort. And I'm pretty sure that doesn't do anything. I'm going to go ahead and say no. Just fly out. Oop, I'm stuck on some glass. But yes, check this one out. This is probably by far the best general non-fiction build that I've seen so far of a boat, because this is huge, absolutely gigantic. I mean, with the interior done as well as the exterior, I mean, the exterior alone is brilliant, but to do the interior as well has got to be at least 90% of the entire project. So congratulations, Harry, because that's absolutely fantastic that you spent the time to do the interior as well on each of those. I'm sure there's probably shopping centres, we've got pools, we've got various other things. Can't see a water slide around, don't know if there's a water slide. Pretty sure it's based on the exact layout. I'm not sure he got the layout to know exactly where everything goes, but either way, we've got a helicopter pad at the front there. How did I not know? So I was right there. But yeah, that's an absolutely stunning build for anyone to have a look at and download that. Just download it, have a look around it, see what you can do with it. And if you have any suggestions, please comment and tell me. Maybe I can do some sort of survival or hide and seek with some of my friends on this map, or if you guys want to do that, that's absolutely great as well. So I think we'll move on to our first and final build, which this week is a absolute stunner, and it's absolutely huge as well. So here we are, guys, in build number 1. Now this is called Lacuna Loth. Now it's a complete fantasy city, and it's not just a city, but I think the city is about 2,000 blocks wide, and then I believe the entire map's, I think, around the 10,000 mark. So it's absolutely huge. Now it's by Circleight, and it is a story kind of map. It took about 10 months to build according to the website. There's a synopsis you can read on the Planet Minecraft page. There's also a soundtrack by Elizabeth Mayo that apparently if you play along while you're playing the map and you also do the follow the story, you can, well, it makes the experience more immersive apparently. This is an absolutely gigantic map. I've not managed to explore the entirety yet because it is huge. Also, this will put serious stress on your computer unless you've got some properly good hardware. I'm running a GTX 960 and a good amount of RAM as well. And even so, I mean, RAM's the thing you need here. So as long as you're running sort of a minimum of probably, I'd say 16, you should be fine. I'm running that, so I'm just about able to cope here. But this is a huge, 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 I can literally just keep on saying huge for the rest of this video, map, because there is no end to it. The story you follow here, I've not followed it yet, but it must be a very long story. Apparently there's a city you start off with. This isn't where you actually spawn. You do spawn in the actual city part itself, which when you spawn there, you won't actually believe it's a city. Now, there's a lot of signs, there's dialogue you follow, there's streets, and you've got to, I think, solve a mystery. I believe that's what it says. But I'm not going to fly around the entire thing. What I'm going to do is, while I'm talking over this, I'm going to post a few, either some screenshots or a fly around, so you guys can see a bit more of it. And see exactly what it looks like. I'll have a look at definitely the renders on the Planet Minecraft page because that will give you a better view. Although, to be honest, I've not seen, from my perspective, the ones on the Planet Minecraft page yet because I've not managed to fly that far out. Given the fact this is 2,000 blocks wide, I believe, I've not managed to actually get that far. The amount of effort gone into this build is just... it's unreal. I mean, that tower there alone, assuming it was planned, has going to have taken ages. And even if it's not, placing all those individual blocks. So yep, I'll do a quick fly around. I'll show you what it's like. But yes, congratulations Circleight for your amazing build this week. This is just... I know I say this about some of the builds in the videos, but I genuinely am not going to see anything like this ever again. I'm not going to see anything on this scale, and I'm not going to see anything on this scale with this much detail because it's just incredible. I mean, there's just too much to it to take in at once. What you need to do is set your I've got my render distance running at 32 chunks here. I'd probably set it a bit lower because you probably don't need to be viewing it all at once. And have a look round. So yeah, don't set your render distance to unlimited because your computer will probably just go into an absolute meltdown. So don't do that. There's redstone everywhere, which is brilliant. It's like there's flying colosseums. I don't understand the map itself, but I think that's a good thing because I don't think you should be able to understand a map like this. I think you should have to explore it and just become the map. Which sounds really weird and maybe slightly cliche, but you have to become the map instead of trying to understand the map. Because it's just one of those maps I can't... You know, even if Stirring Mouse was here, I doubt her computer would be able to run it. So, in a way, it's kind of good that I can show you this. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably run it onto XSILLYxTACOx. I might do, I'm not sure. I'll put a video overlay over the top of this, show you more of it. I might run around in XSILLYxTACOx, because I can have a bit more render distance there and slightly less, well, slightly more FPS. So I will do that. But yeah, if you like this video, guys, please like and subscribe. Tell me if you'd like me to do more runner-up videos. I know today was meant to be a sort of 5, but it will turn into a sort of top 6 video. If you'd like me to do more runner-ups like I usually do at the end of the video and leave those links in the description, then please comment and say. If you just like it, just like it. We'll bring out another one of these. Hopefully this one will go up on the Wednesday or Thursday, and hopefully the next one will go up on the Wednesday or Thursday as well, with our next top 5 builds, which will be from the 25th onwards to that, whatever that day is that it finishes, whatever. So yeah, congratulations to everyone who made it into the top 5 this week. This week's been a really great week because we've had some Christmas builds. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate one for all the Christmas builds that were built within that week as well. And because there was literally about 10 builds that I thought were absolutely fantastic, but 5 of them were Christmas, so I didn't want to stick them in the same category, even though they were from the same week, if you get what I mean. So yeah, check that video out. That will be uploaded hopefully within the next few days, and I will see you next week, guys. Take care, and keep on mining.